Yep, still sick as a dog. But anyway, we're going to continue our unit on writing linear equations. Our end goal is to have a graph with a line, and we're going to determine what that equation is of the line. In this presentation, instead of giving you the slope and the y-intercept, I'm going to give you a point and a slope. So our given information is m is equal to 2 over negative 3. What this is saying is that the slope of this line is 2 over negative 3. We're also given a point. This point is also given, which means that it also lies in the line that is formed by this equation. Your first step is to graph the point on the graph. So I'm going to graph 3 and 0. So I'm going to start at my origin, go over 3x, and since it's 0 on the y, I'm going to graph it right on my x-axis. The next step is I'm going to use slope to find another point. The only thing I'm really missing in my equation is my y-intercept. Slope is already given to me, so I've already solved half the problem. So my slope is 2 over negative 3, and I'm going to use that to determine where this line crosses the y-axis. So I'm going to start at the point that I graphed. I'm going to rise 2, represented here, and I'm going to run negative 3. When I do so, I reach 2 on my y-axis. Therefore, the y-intercept is 2. So the line that is formed by this information looks somewhat like this. And the equation is y equals 2 over negative 3x plus 2. Because slope is already given to us, and we use that to determine where the line intersects the y-axis. Here's our second example. The first thing that I'm going to do is graph the point. As a reminder, x comma y is how we graph our points. My x is 4. My y is negative 7. So I'm going to graph my point right about down here. Now I'm going to use slope to determine where the line intersects the y-axis. I'm going to rise 3. And run negative 4. Because it's negative 4, I'm going to go in the negative direction. So as we can see, this line crosses my y-axis at 4. And slope is already given to me. There's my y equals mx plus b, where m is my slope, which is 3 over negative 4, and b is my y-intercept at 4. Here's another example. I'm going to graph my point. Negative 4. Whoa. Let's try that again. Graph my point at negative 4 and up at positive 2. My slope is 1 over 2. I'm going to rise 1, run 2. Now if I rise 1 and run 2, my point is here. I have not yet reached the y-axis. So I'm going to keep using slope until I reach my y. So if I rise 1, run 2, now I'm on my y-axis. So the equation of this line is y equals 1/2 x plus 4, because this line intercepts the y-axis at 4. Here's another example. I want you to pay close attention to this example. I'm going to graph my point 2, 3, and I'm going to use slope to determine where my next point will be. If I rise 1 and run 2, rise 1, run 2. If I keep going, I'm getting further and further away from my y-axis. My goal is to find where the line crosses the y-axis. So instead of going positive 1, positive 2, I can also go negative 1, negative 2. So I'm going to go down 1 and over negative 2. What do you know? The line crosses the y-axis at 2, and my slope is 1/2. So the equation of this line is y equals 1/2 x plus 2. I want you to visit your graphic organizer. So writing linear equations given a slope and a point. So our slope is 2/3. And the line crosses the y-axis at -6, positive 1. So here's my slope. It crosses, and this line, this point is on the line at -6, positive 1. So the first step is I'm going to graph the given point. So I'm going to graph -6, positive 1. So -6, positive 1 is my first step. I'm going to use the slope to find a second point, rise over run. So again, my slope is 2/3. I'm going to rise 2, run 3, graph my point. I'm going to keep using slope until a point is on the y-axis. I'm going to rise 2, run 3, and here I can see that this line intercepts my y-axis at 5. And your last step is to fill in your slope and y-intercept. So the equation of this line is y equals my slope 2/3 x plus 5, because the line crosses the y-axis at 5. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. If you have questions, please feel free to come into class tomorrow, and we will continue to practice this in class tomorrow as well. All right, have a good evening. That was weird.